But now we move on to the next topic, and it's still about also the hospital of the future, but it's about visualization done by two of our students. The two students, Schimmel and Bianca Filip, will introduce themselves later on, but they took part in a minor center about this visualization of the hospital in the future, and that's actually part of what we call a minor. And a minor is actually a package of courses about 15 EC, that all bachelor students actually do, that they can do too. Usually they do it in the first half year of the third year. And they can either choose a minor from their own program, so then they specialize, or they can widen their horizon and actually choose from topics which are more broader. And we have this specifically group of minors called the high-tech human touch minors. And they are actually dealing with societal challenges. And they explore UT-based technology solutions for, let's say, big societal challenges, and they are always taught in English to make sure that also foreign students can actually participate. So very often from our ECU partner students actually participate. But that also gives a more diverse group of students, and that's usually good to have diverse perspective on problems and solutions. Bas and Bianca, I'd like to invite you and share with us your visualization. Please.
So, good afternoon to everyone. Let's start with a short exercise of imagination. Picture yourselves at home in like 20 years. You are either alone with your family or with your friends or with your pets, however you want to. It's almost Christmas time, and you are decorating your Christmas tree all together. Now, you are stretching to put the star on top of the tree, and suddenly you slip. And unfortunately, your knee starts to hurt. But what happens next? Does your robot maid come in to help you? Do you call your GP directly? Do you ask an AI agent for advice on what you can or cannot do from now on? Well, there are many possibilities for sure, but one thing is certain. We don't actually know how the future of healthcare will look like. And this is not the individual's problem. The entire healthcare system feels this pressure. Fewer staff, limited budgets, an aging population, and ongoing debates about data ownership. This together makes the question of what happens next even more urgent. Well, as you heard earlier, TechMed and its partners is trying to tackle this challenge. By how, you might ask? Actually, by making the moonshot visions that can create a frame to see the possibilities of the future. Today, we are Bianca and Bas, and we represent a team of 5 students from different cultures and academical backgrounds. Working together as a team of 5 was a challenge, as we had creatives, designers, business thinkers, and biomedical technologists as well. The designers and the creatives challenged the technicalities, while the biomedical technologies challenged the feasibilities, and the business people, actually me, monitored the impact. But altogether, we made our final concept even more stronger. But what actually do we have to do? So our task was simple to explain, but kind of complex to carry out. We were challenged to create a visualization of how the hospital of the future will look like, based on the visions made by TechMed and its partners. At first, we wanted to tackle this challenge using a 4-step process. And at first, we explored, and we defined, ideate, and finally, we test the ideas that we came up with. So at first, we started doing a little bit of research, understanding how the Dutch healthcare works, and we interviewed TechMed, its partners as well, and we tried to come up with what others did in similar projects. Then we started defining our context for the future product, also the audience, and exactly what the tensions within the field. By exploring TechMed's moonshots, we actually identified 6 topics of interest, ranging from data ownership, autonomy, digital versus human care, and also data ownership or responsibility. After the exploration phase, we started ideating, and we ideated widely. We came up with 9 different concepts, and then we narrowed them down to 3, and finally, we made the final concept, Connective Vision.
Yeah, so Connective Vision is an interactive table built to help people explore the different visions on the hospital of the future. And we do this in an intuitive, but also playful and meaningful way. Now, what we have designed is a round table installation, as you can see over here. And in the center, there's a lighted 3D map that, that people will be able to use to see how the future of the region will look. And around the outside, there's a rotating ring that visitors are able to turn by hand. And then this ring acts as a physical selector. So turning the ring will determine basically what vision you're going to explore. Now, each vision is represented by a distinct color theme, and the LEDs around the map will light up to match the scenario that you select. So, once you have selected that scenario, we then have the embedded screens in the table itself, and these will guide the visitors using, for example, an introductory video that will introduce people to the challenges that the healthcare system is facing, but also, of course, the urgency that comes along with it. Secondly, also videos explaining each vision in more detail. And lastly, we have basically an in-depth quiz that helps people explore which of the 3 visions best aligns with everyone's values and expectations. So together, these physical and digital components make the future really tangible for people. So the 3D map in the center outlines the healthcare center distribution across the region of Twente according to each vision. Secondly, the different light themes make the differences between each vision visually intuitive for people. Of course, the ring also invites playful exploration. And lastly, the quiz personalizes this entire experience. Now, Connective Vision has been designed to do 3 things. To, 1, spark discussion among participants. Secondly, also to help inform people about what their future might look like. But thirdly, we also want people to be able to figure out what kind of vision feels right to them, or basically in which of the 3 worlds they would like to live personally. And this product will stand in a central location. For example, here at the UT, it would stand at the hall, the main hall of the TechMed Center, and then people will be able to gather around it naturally, point at the lights, touch it, rotate it, and have discussions together about what the future of healthcare might look like. And before we wrap up, we would really like to introduce you to some of the questions that we pose in our quiz. That's a part of the Connective Vision experience. And for this, I would really like to go back to the scenario that Bianca has introduced you to. And, well, imagine it's the year 2050. And, well, you have been working on your Christmas tree, and, well, you've fallen down. And after you fall, you decide to go to your GP, the huisarts. And to diagnose you, they end up using an AI model. And this AI model ends up giving you the wrong diagnosis. And even worse, at the hospital, this leads to a wrong treatment. So in this case, the question that we pose is, who is responsible for this wrong treatment? Would that be either the GP who used this AI in diagnosing? Would that be the company that created this AI model? Or lastly, would it be the specialist at the hospital who gave you this precise treatment? Well, and based on the answer that you would like to give personally, I would ask you to raise your hand and show either 1, 2, or 3 fingers based on the choice that you would like to make. So let's vote. A lot of differing answers.
So many different opinions.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. I hope we keep this conversation and discussions going afterwards as well. But now, one more question for you. So, to recover from your injuries, you need frequent daily assistance at home. Who would you prefer? This one is more simple, it only has 2 options. So, a human who would come by your house for 5 minutes at different times of the day, or robots or digital staff that can have a conversation with you for 15 minutes daily. So again, 1 finger for one and 2 for the other. Please vote. Still, many, I see it like half and half. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your input, and let's keep that conversation going for sure afterwards. But before we wrap up, I want to tell you a lesson that we learned together during this project. So if there is one thing that we can say we definitely learned in this project, is the fact that the future is not only defined by technology, it is also defined by people who question, rethink, and collaborate. So we make the question of what happens next a daily part of all our lives. And this future will not start being building by its own. It will be built from the choices that we all make from today, after we leave this very room, as researchers, students, business people, policymakers, citizens, and more importantly, as humans. Connective vision shows that every future begins with a conversation. Let us keep that conversation going, and let's shape the future of the healthcare together. Thank you.